Adam Green, or not Adam Green, I'm sorry, Adam King, and his comments on Christianity, specifically his comments on Catholicism. He says that the Catholic Church in every generation has been so complicit in Jew hatred. There's always been in Europe this hate of Jews because of Christian influence. He says that Jews were kicked out of 100. And I want to ask you this. Do you honestly think that Jews were kicked out of so many countries because of Christian influence and not because of the usury taking over the financial, taking over the media, pushing sexual degeneracy, taking over basically everything, and destroying the country? Right. Yeah. Well, do you honestly think it was because of Christian influence, specifically Catholicism, that they were kicked out of so many countries, not because of all of the shit that they did?
Elevated discussion than tunnels. Like, this is that question is an intellectual question that is highbrow. The fucking tunnels are boring loser meme shit.
But Gavin, Hell's Angels are not known for sacrificing kids for thousands of years.
I will say this: it is interesting.
Get him out of here.
Okay, listen. It is interesting.
Now that this keeps coming back to tunnels, and do a line of coke or something.
Hold on,
man. That's all you like doing anyway.
Hold on. Now that this keeps coming back to the tunnels, I will say it is interesting that there was a court document that people are publishing on Twitter that I confirmed is actually real, that talked about abuse cases in the mikvah, the ritual bathhouse, that the Daily Mail, when they reported on this story, said they were interested in linking this mikvah to the main building. I will say that is interesting.
Okay,
I also think the Vice News article is interesting.
If that comes out as a thing, then by all means, that all of a sudden becomes a very
it already did come out
intellectual discussion.
Yeah.
No. If there is a link, if it is verifiably linked, then I do want to talk about that.
Well, they said the Daily Mail reported on it.
This is rat conjecture, and it's embarrassing. But get back to your original question about being expelled from countries. That's high IQ shit.
Can we go there? Let's go.
Adam King, do you think that Jews were expelled from so many countries because of Christian influence?
Not just Christian influence,
instead of all of the things that they have done.
Also, Muslim influence, Muslim and Christian influence. Yeah, I mean, like the other two monotheistic religions that derive its creation from Judaism is responsible for the vast amount of Jewish diasporic claims. Yes, I don't know where you get this 109 countries thing.
I'm just saying
it's a lot of countries. Like there was a few major ones. Spanish Inquisition. Poland was the third of the Jewry of Poland was wiped out over in one night in massive massacres. My family came to America shortly after the Civil War. We're called Kharkovian Jews. There was a horrible, horrible massacre that took place in Ukraine that brought my family to America and also to Lithuania at the same time. There was so many of these things. Jews have not even been allowed to be Jewish. There's so many laws. Have you guys ever seen those fur hats that the Hasidic people wear?
Yeah.
People don't know this, but the reason that is a beautiful custom. And the reason is because the Cossacks required that Jews wear the tail of an animal to distinguish them from the Gentiles. So we turned them into beautiful crowns. And that's where that culture comes from. Minus the expulsion, the suffrage that Jews had when we weren't being expelled from countries, and it's not indigenous to Catholicism and Catholic societies or Christian societies, but the Muslims put us in a dhimmi status where we had special taxes just because we were Jewish. We had to pay tax just because we were a Jew. When you go into diasporic Europe, you see all sorts of different things where, like, before a Jew can marry a wife, she has to sleep she has to have sex with the local parish, or not parish, the government.
Not only this obviously is not true, but have you ever asked yourself why? Because it seems to me you're acting like another group of people, like we didn't do nothing. Yeah, okay, bro.
Government official. So in the Hasidic communities, women had a culture of shaving their head bald so they would look ugly. Jews uglified themselves so that they wouldn't get raped, murder, violence, oppression. All these things happened at the behests of non-Jewish society. And
listen, guys, I just want you to understand, if this was all true, Remember, there was no cameras, there was no TV, okay? How do you think they survived if this was all true? How is it even possible? Because it's not true, obviously. Christians always let everybody in. Muslims, even pagans, Jews, Hindus. We can see nowadays Europe and America how they are. They're filled by these different religions and ethnicities. But if you go to Israel, you don't see a bunch of Christians. If you go in Islamic countries, you don't see a bunch of Christians. So we are the only one that let everybody in, okay? You guys don't.
They weren't integrating then. Jewish integration into secular non-Jewish society is a very relative thing. It's only started in like the last 100 years or so, less than 100 years, where Jews have actively been trying to get into other societies. We were pushed away. We were not allowed to participate in European society whatsoever.
And you say that's because of Christian influence, though.
Yeah,
but you not because of
you
anything
guys
else.
made a religion where we killed your God.
All right, guys,
So if you were to take away one religion, if you were to take away, all right, sorry, go ahead, Elijah.
I know, Vince, I know you're cooking stuff. I just want to go to Nick. We haven't heard from him in about 15 minutes, and I want Nick. I want to hear your take on this. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I just think it's interesting. The reason I wanted to dwell a little bit on this Vatican comparison. You know, the Jewish tunnels were brought up, and then Adam retorted and said, well, let's talk about the Vatican tunnels and how they stole our holy books and they stole everybody's stuff. And what's interesting, I know that's not a flattering impersonation, but what's amusing is that at the beginning of the debate, Gavin said, well, you've got, 4 different kinds of Jews, and on the very far left, you got these guys that really even aren't Jews. And then you got these Hasidic Jews, and they really do their own thing, and they don't even think about anybody else. But what's interesting is Adam is on band.video. He's on InfoWars Network, and he's got an American flag behind him, and he talks about these conservative issues, and he loves the Constitution. But did you notice that when it comes to the Jewish people, he sounds like Black Lives Matter? He starts talking about reparations and colonialism and oppression and intolerance and genocide, and all of a sudden, we're hearing the same kind of notes. It's like, well, this fiction that the Vatican wouldn't have to give the Jews back all their stuff and all the other conquered people too. And like,
you think we should just give those to you?
Well, hold on.
You think that they're yours now?
And you can't even help yourself. This is the mindset.
I'm asking you. My question to you, Nick.
No, to the victors go the spoils.
The
also, we're Christians, so silence when a Christian is talking. The real people have got us.
You're not even really a Christian.
You will listen, boy.
You're not even really a Christian, Nick. You're a fake Christian.
Silence, Esau. The chosen the chosen Catholics are talking. No, I'm just messing with you.
This is why it's important that we judge you guys.
Who's we and who's us?
The Jews.
Whoa, there we go.
You bring about your own
judgment. That sounds like dual loyalty right here.
That's such it's a delicious irony. It's a feast of irony here. But this is the mindset of even, well, I would say particularly religious Jews. I mean, these are the Pharisees. The Jews today, the religious Jews, are the Pharisaical Jews that did kill Christ. And he says, well, you invented a religion where you killed your God so you could hate us or something and prevent us from giving the world the Kabbalah, where you believe in reincarnation and golem and stuff like that. But this is the mindset. We are not co-religionists. There's no such thing as Judeo-Christian. There's no affinity. There is
Judeo-Christian. There's not Judeo-Catholic, but there is Judeo-Christian.
I'm glad you said that, actually, because you're right. Protestants are basically Jews, because they're your pawns. They're the ones that support Israel. They're the ones that shell out the money for you guys.
Let's talk about the early Christians.
Yeah, that's why Jews did Vatican II,
Let's
by the
talk
way.
about Jesus, and let's talk about the early Christians.
I'm not interested in what Kabbalistic Jews have to say about Jesus.
This concept with you.
Yeah. We should start at the synagogue of Satan. If we want to
Zherka,
start,
don't you have like
the
a
synagogue of Satan
or something? You're the gayest. Why are you here? Why are you even here?
Is this?
Are you here because Vince and Nick need some shit stir to back them up? Can they handle their own argument?
I'm here for you. I'm here for you, dude.
All right.
Listen, we don't want his support. We don't want Zherka's support. We'll take it anyway.
Yeah.
We do. We can defend ourselves.
They can defend themselves.
Yeah.
Elijah.
Yeah. I'm just here to say that Jews are God's people and Jesus is king.
All right, where can people find you?
Just ticky-talky. Watch the video of this fool getting his ass beat, acting like
you're losing the debate, bud. You're losing the debate. It's not a good look for you.
You were on meth when you did that. Get out of here, man. Go become your.
Go get by a
think you're
rabbi.
going
Go
back
get
to
your
irrelevant.
foreskin bit off by a
Before you
rabbi.
came here
And you
tonight,
know what's
were
funny,
irrelevant,
Elijah?
and then when
That's
you
the
leave, you're
good
gonna
guys.
be irrelevant
That's
again.
the last thing I want to say is the good Jews the baby's skin off, and the bad
He's
ones are in
wearing a
tunnels
Masonic hat
sacrificing
about
shit to their
Catholicism.
big nose. Look at this guy's nose. That's a tunnel in itself.
Guys, let me know in the comments what you think. This was insane. Leave a like if you want to. Christ is King. God bless.